Hello, viewers. Good morning and welcome to today's edition of Conversations on the African Town Hall online television. Being focused is the most critical element for attainment of success in life. We are in a world today when being focused has eluded the rising generations of Africa, making them vulnerable to manipulations by a rogue ruling class. The Townhall Communication Company was established to give voice to the rising generations of Africa through our different programs and projects, including Project 30 Before 30 International, through which we are teaching young people personal development, personal empowerment, and the capacity to midwife the African Renaissance. And the African Town Hall eBook Club, through which we enable the rising generations of Africa to have access to books they can easily read. And of course, the program Conversations on the African Town Hall online television, through which we invite inspiring people to talk about their hustle for the inspiration of the rising generations of Africa. We are pleased to have Oluwakemi Lawal as our guest for Conversations today. Kemi, welcome to our studios.
Hi, thank you for having me. Thank you. Good morning, viewers.
Thank you. We are grateful to have you because your credentials is such that it's already inspiring when we look at your background. So I think it's going to be a great pleasure working with you today. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, viewers, Kemi graduated from the prestigious Yaba College of Technology and the University of Lagos and holds a Bachelor of Science degree in Employment Relations and Human Resources Management. She currently works as a brand and operations manager for packaging and HR and operations lead at Datalium. Viewers, we invite you to join us in today's episode of Conversations on the African Town Hall online television with Oluwakemi Lawal by asking questions and making comments and showing your love for the program. If your questions are ready within the time of the broadcast, Kemi will be just glad to respond to them. And maybe I will let you know that as a coach and as a leader in her business branding, she gets paid to respond to questions, but here today she has promised to respond to your questions for free. So bring those questions coming because she'll be willing to just do it in support of the work we do at the African Town Hall online television for the rising generations of Africa. Well, Kemi, you are a young and upwardly moving woman with awe-inspiring credentials. What is your story? What inspires you?
All right, thank you for that. Yeah, what is my story and what inspires me? For me, growing up with parents who are actually passionate about their kids' development has been like one of the solid foundation that I've had. My parents are they are the kind of people who are very hardworking and they are givers. They support their children with whatever they want to do and ensure that they do their best to ensure our growth and development. So growing up, I've gotten that culture from my parents, like you always have to be your best. You always have to give your best. You always have to leave a place better than you met it. Even for things as simple as using the toilet or using cutleries and the likes, they're always very particular about details that you need to leave things better than you meant it. You need to be better and be strive to do better in any situation you find yourself in. So growing up, I've had that sense of discipline imposed on me by my parents. So that has always been, you can't even, there's no room for mistakes or there's no room for you to do the wrong things. There's no room for me to stray. So they've always been there to be like, the discipline has been there and all of that. So yeah, that story that has actually been with me ever since I was young and growing up. I've had to like live up to their expectations and even surpass that because they are passionate about you growing, developing yourself, and achieving a high level of success. So yes, being who I am today, what inspires me has been my zeal to make impact, to leave the world better than I met it, to give the best of myself to people, to situations, to communities. So that way, the impact continues. I'm always able to. I can be rest assured that yes, I've done this for today. Have been able to impact people. Have been able to, achieve something for the day. Yeah, so that has been a source of inspiration for me so far.
Oh, that is awesome. And in today's world, this is a question I'm going to take from your last response. It's just a side one. From your
All right.
response, your parents were there, they had standards, they set goals, and you played with them. You've achieved success in that, which makes it a very outstanding thing for them to do. But in today's world, some young people are considering those to be a lot of pressure. Did you feel too pressured to get on with what you did? Or did you at one point found that this is what is good for you and then you hooked onto it?
Okay, yes. While growing up, like I mentioned, my parents had this form of discipline and standard they imbibed in the children. For me, at the point in time, I used to feel the need like, oh, why can't I go out with other kids to play? Why can't I play with other my friends in the neighborhood rather than just staying indoors and having to read? Because my mom was the type that was always buying me books, read and do dictation, solve mathematics. She would just bring after school, get your work, class work, call my teachers, and all. So she was always like going the extra mile. Yeah, at a point I felt pressured, like I'm not doing what my peers are doing. I'm not playing with kids in the neighborhood. I'm missing out on the fun. But as time goes on, I realized that it was more of her being wanting the best for me. They are listeners. They listen, they understand what you want, and they know when to compromise for we the children. So from there, I started to understand more about it. That oh, all of these are actually for my betterment, and it's for me to improve and get better to be better at whatever I do or choose to do going forward. So I had to start. I started falling in love with reading from where my mom said it was now from being forced to read to being looking forward to reading. So I was always looking forward to getting more books, looking forward to getting more insights and having conversations with my parents rather than now wishing for wanting to play outside and all of that. So yes, it became a passion for me. It became something I was now invested in myself to want to do rather than being forced by my parents or being told what to do. I think that's how it worked for me.
Oh wow! I think your story needs to go further than from you, and I'm grateful that we are the ones carrying the message forward. The rest of the young people of this world need to hear this because out there you see a lot of them trying to become rebels because they feel their parents are mounting pressures on them so much to be this and do this and that. So so it is right. I want you to confirm if it's right to say, hey, when you're under this kind of pressure, it is best to try to find out why and to know that it is in your best interest. Is that something you can testify for others to, feel?
Yes, exactly. The pressures are not just there to limit you. Fine, if you now feel overwhelmed or too pressured, it's something. That's why open communication is key. I felt so comfortable until date. I feel so comfortable having conversations with my parents. So in situations where I feel like it's getting too extreme from their end, I talk to them and I'm like, okay, this is what I feel, and I also get their perspective on it, and that is what has helped me to cope with it then, that I didn't feel the pressure anymore. It now became something fun for me to do, to want to learn, to want to read, and to want to always be better at whatever I do. So yes, you just need to converse and get the best out of every situation you find yourself in. That's
Oh, wow. I mean, you are such a wise woman, and I think from this medium and future mediums, media, people will learn and hear your voice, because it look like your voice is one that is needed out there right now, and I'm happy to be part of it. Okay. The in the African town hall, that is the philosophy we have back here in the African town hall. We believe that for one to begin his or her life properly, to have a meaningful life, and to have real and enduring success, he or she needs to have a strong foundation based on the right philosophy of life and the right values. So, what are your central philosophy of life and values? Could you share that with us?
Oh, yes, definitely. I remember when I got my first job after school, I interned with an insurance company. And then my boss, the boss I had then, called me in for a conversation. And one of the questions he asked me was, "What's your take about life?" At first I was blank. Okay, I didn't expect the question. So after that day, I had the time to think and say, okay, yes, so what exactly is my view on life? What is it I want out of life? So since then, I've learned of this philosophy that life is exactly what you make out of it. Your situation or who you are, the people you find yourself in, life will happen with whatever life throws at you in every situation or with people. It comes up better with the way you react to it and what you're able to make out of it and whatever situation you find yourself in. So with that, it's actually important to always strive to be the best at what you do, to be the best with people around you, to be the best who you are yourself. Strive to always improve. And then when opportunities come or situations, challenges, and all of that, you're able to, you're able to make the best out of the situation. So yeah, my philosophy on life is what you make out of it. Yes. In terms of, some people say when you're given lemons, even if it's sour, you need to make lemonades out of it. So there
Mhm.
are people that are given different things. You have the same thing. You can be given apple and pineapple. Some can decide to make a fruit salad out of it. Some can decide to make a fruit juice out of it. And some can just decide to eat it that way. So it's different for people. So irrespective of what it is, life is what you have decided to make out of it. So yes, that's one of my philosophies on life. And as regards the values, yeah, for me, it has to do with major frameworks of like I mentioned it, I'm a family person, I'm a people person. It has to do with personal growth, within the fundamentals of personal growth of people, family and friends, of mental and emotional balance, and spiritual balance and stability. So in all of these areas of my life, I strive to imbibe the culture and the value of being passionate about whatever I do. Also, I imbibe the culture of humility, because with humility, you will definitely go far. And hard work. Hard work is important in everything you do. And personally, I make sure that whatever I do, and like the saying goes, what is what's doing is definitely what's doing well. So I imbibe the culture and value of humility, hard work, open communication, honesty in my dealings with people, and integrity. There's this standard I see myself in, that I must not go below the standard. So when you're dealing with people, they need to know their boundaries, and there are also times you need to also go the extra mile to get things done and also be the best in what you do. So yeah, that's it for me.
Wow. Um, when I looked at your profile, it was clear to me that this is a wise woman. She needs to speak from your values, your philosophy of life. These are very hard rock, superb, and clearly stand outstanding values and philosophies. I want you to keep them up. They say the sky is your limit, and I say the sky is even beneath what people like you can do. The lives you influence with your standards will go certainly beyond the sky. So please keep up the good work, my dear friend. I mean, I appreciate every bit of this. All
Thank
right.
you.
As we move on in this conversation, I would like you to share with us why you entered the human resources development uh, side of life. You are an enthusiast when it comes to human resources, and you even a young person, and you're already a certified practitioner in the field, being an associate member of the Certified Institute of Personnel Management of Nigeria. So, what attracted you to the human resources development? What are your inspiration for going into that side of the business?
Okay. Yes, human resource has been something. It's something I'm actually very passionate about. I'm a people person. I'm also a family person. I love to relate with people. I love to learn from people. I also love to impact in the lives of people, individuals. I'm someone who is not just passionate about my growth, but also about the growth of others, because you can't be around me and we will not learn together, we will not grow together. I would definitely want to learn something from you, and I also want to impact in the people around me. So yes, people relations has been a great part of me ever since I was a child. And like I mentioned, the culture I've imbibed from my parents. So yes, that is one of the motivating factors and one of the major factors that pushed me into the direction of human resource management. When I started the university that I applied for the course, as at then, it was just with the zeal to learn. But what started out as the zeal to learn about the course turned out to be something much more beyond, much more passionate. Uh, you agree with me? Well, some might not agree, but I believe most people will agree with me that we have people everywhere, even in organizations. The country at large is filled with people. So people are the lifeblood of the organization. With people, you can get things done. With people, we can achieve a lot. Together, we can bring great minds together. Everyone comes together to achieve something, to achieve greater things. So yeah, people relations is just what is it has been a part of me, and that has what has also sparked my interest in human resource management. It's something I'm really passionate about, and for now, with what I've been doing, I also look forward to doing more, to learning more in the human resource space. There's a lot out there. There are lots of possibilities. There are lots of things to explore in the HR field. So yes, that's it about my interest and passion in human resource management. And I also look forward to learning more and to meeting more people, even in the HR space, to interact and get to know more people.
Awesome. Um, the acronym team, which is a word, TEAM, which is a word, is also used as an acronym with together each achieve more or
Yeah.
much. So I think that falls in line with the driving force of your life. Everything is about people. Whatever you want to showcase, you want to have profits, you want to even actualize the feelings of your ego and your heart, it passes through people. Thank you very much for sharing this beautiful part of your life with us.
Okay.
Okay. In your bio, you were described as a book lover and a humanitarian who is passionate about charity work, child care, and community development service. When did your interest in books and humanitarian work begin? And when did you notice that you are passionate about books and humanitarian work? I think we have learned a little bit about how your book home began, but please
Yeah.
do share more with us, and then
Oh,
come also from the angle of the humanitarian work.
all right. Thank you. Yes. Like I mentioned earlier, once again, my parents, I will always keep mentioning them because I owe, to a large extent of who I am, I owe it to them. Yeah, as a child, my mom was always buying me books. And after class, after school, I'll come home to still do more work. She'll just tell me it's time for dictation. Go and bring your book and pen. She'll call words for me to write. When I miss the spelling, she'll have me do it all over again, correction and all of that. She'll ask me for the meaning of new words. And when she gives me a book to read, she'll tell me what have I learned from it, that she summarize it to her. As I then it was, I was like, oh no, I need to play. I want to play with kids in the neighborhood. I want to mingle and all of that. So I didn't really have interest in it. It was more like a first thing. But like I mentioned, as time went on, I had to realize I found most of those books interesting. And I also had to realize that she wanted the best for me. And to date, she wants the best for me. and that's why she's always imbibed that culture of reading and also loving mathematics. Yes, I owe that to my mom. Yeah, so from there I started reading from books like Born to Lead, the likes of Eze Goes to School, Eze Goes to College, Without a Silver Spoon. Yeah, I started with books like that when my mom would give me, okay, so read. And then I found them interesting. I found them relatable. These are the kids in the books are people who are striving to learn, to develop. So she gave me books that will inspire me, academic books also. Yeah, so from there I developed the passion of reading. I love to read, and I've started looking forward to getting more books. And whenever she goes out and comes back, I'm like, so what book did you buy for me today? And if she
Mm.
says no, I'm very sad. So since then, I started getting books as birthday gifts. I received books, and by the time I got to secondary school, even as a commercial student, I excelled very well in literature because by then I could read faster, I could assimilate faster on whatever I read, and I'm able to summarize easily based on the knowledge. And so I don't just limit it to that. Whatever I read, I ensure that I learn something from it. I'm able to, imbibe something from it. And okay, hold on to this. This is what I learned from this particular book. Yes, and to date, I belong to two amazing book clubs where we get to read books on a regular basis and review the books. So yes, that is also one passion of mine. Okay, yes. The other question as regards my humanitarian services. Um, I'm a very emotional person. I'm this type of person that once I see someone in an uncomfortable situation, it's just I don't know. I have this feeling like, what can I do to make this better? What can I do to get this person out of this uncomfortable situation? So yes, my parents are givers. They're the type of person that we'll have drinks in the house, and I'm like, I want to drink this, I want to drink that. And before you know, my parents are giving them out to people, and then I'll be sad, like, but I wanted this. As time goes on, and I realize that because I'm privileged, there are also people who actually need this, and I shouldn't take them for granted. Yeah, so that has now helped me, shaped me better into becoming more of an humanitarian. So where I'm able to help people. I'm also passionate about childcare and charity work because I believe it starts at the foundation when we are kids. That's when you can easily and work on developing everyone right as a kid to become future leaders, to become great people, to become people who will not stray from the right path. So yes, that has also been a form of motivation for me in terms of reading books and my humanitarian services.
Oh boy. This is great for someone so young with so much bright and very exciting ideas that can make this world a better place. Just like onto that, we have uh, this saying that readers are leaders. A reader today is a leader tomorrow. And I think the great Napoleon Bonaparte was quoted as saying that show me a family that reads, and I will show you a family that controls the world. Can you, as a follow up to the last ones, share your take is on those statements?
All right. Without being biased, because I'm a reader, I would definitely agree with it. Yes.
Okay.
So there are lots of knowledge in books. There are lots of things you can discover in books. It builds an analytical mind. It feeds your curiosity. I don't know, it just sharpens the mind and the brain. So there are lots of ideas you can even get. You might not have an idea before, and then you read a book, you like a particular concept, read another book, you get lots of insights from it. You read another book, and then you're like, wow, okay, so there are this kind of possibilities. So from there, we have leaders, we build managers, we build lots of great people from that passion of reading. So yes, I will be biased as a reader and agree with that. That yes, readers are leaders. Readers are great people. Readers are people who turn out to be great and excel in whatever they do. Yeah, there are lots of secrets in books that you can get from it.
And
So
I think you have a great point there. You know that the when we held one online African Leadership Conference for the Youth of Africa in December last year. Some of the speakers, the young people that spoke, said the key issues, that problem that Nigerian and in fact African rulers have is they have poverty of ideas and morality, poverty of morality and poverty of ideas. That came out very strongly as a key problem. And you are clearly stating here that books will sharpen the mind, even if you don't have ideas before. When you read, ideas will spring into your system. So truly, if we want to have leaders, I think everybody should start reading so they can be people of ideas. I think in money management too, in money making, they said there are no money problems. What we actually have is idea problems. If people have ideas on their heads, then they will do a lot. But I'm sure you agree with those points, or do you have any divergence to them?
Definitely.
Okay.
I No, I actually agree with them. Yes, you just need to read. You need to love to read. I will stick to that. I'm biased because I love reading. So people
Mm.
around me to also have to learn to read. That.
Okay, that is cool. Okay. And then something in the humanitarian side and some of the other things you do apart from your work. We noticed that you are actively involved in a number of charity organizations. I don't know if I think saw like up to 3 or thereabout in your profile, and you are actively involved in executing some of the projects. Tell us about these different charity works and the organizations you are working with. If it is okay to mention them online here, I mean, for the public to share, and then with that, you can share more on your passion for this charity work. I know you've said where it came from, but you can expand that with a view to inspiring someone else to want to do likewise. So tell us about those organizations we work with and what their main goals are.
All right. I will start with my current organization, where I work currently at the Talion. We have this culture where we need to help people. It's a form of corporate social responsibility for us. So every member of the staff on Tuesdays, we target Help Tuesday. So it's important that as a member of staff here at the Italian, you should help at least 2 people on Tuesdays. So it's a form of organizational culture we've imbibed. And it doesn't have to be monetary. You can advise someone, put someone on the right track, assist with a challenge someone is going through. So that's one. Yeah, the other NGOs I volunteer for Executives Helping Initiative. It's a youth-led organization that is passionate about people, helping people grow, community development, childcare, education, and the like. So over the years, we've executed different projects, community projects, kids projects, and lots more, where we show love to people. We help encourage people, even in terms of health, mental health, and physical health. So we do that because we know it's important to give back to the society. It's important to show love to people. It's important to make impact. That way, everyone grows and no one is being left behind. Yeah, so we do that at Executives Helping Initiative. And I also volunteer for Street Love Nigeria. Yes, we're passionate about helping kids on the streets to learn IT skills and things in tech, coding, and also that's what Street Love Nigeria is about. Yeah, I also volunteer for Anti-Suicide and Depression Squad. Yeah, ASADS is also a sister company to Executives Helping Initiative, where we help people with mental health issues. You help them address all of these issues they're facing and see how they can become stronger and better and not resort to suicide as the option. Yes, so that those are some of the organizations I volunteer for. I also volunteer for EEF. EEF is passionate about kids, helping widows, rendering help and community development. Yes, so those are some of the major organizations I volunteer for. And aside that, I do some of my personal charity service, and these are things that are actually personal and private to me because I'm of the view that when you do things with your right hand, your left hand should not know about it. It's more of, you know, helping someone privately without having to announce it to the world. Yeah, that's for the organizations I volunteer for, and we execute different projects.
Wow. And you are still so young and you don't do so much already. Your hands are full. And, someone said, well, it's when you are young, you have to do everything. So my prayers and my heart are out with you for strength, because what you are doing is impactful, is so positive, and will surely cause a change to happen in this world and make it a better place. Please, may your shadows never grow less.
Thank you.
Okay. Um, Now, you mentioned a number of books, especially in the early parts. But would like you to talk about some of the books that has inspired you, especially in recent times. Maybe critical books you recommend for other people within your age bracket or those who are younger. Books you think they should get now and begin to read. So we are asking, what books have you read in the past that impacted your life positively? What impact did those books have in your life? And what books are you reading now?
All right. So I will start. I'll take it as a gradual process. As
Yeah.
a kid, the books that inspired me, I think I mentioned them earlier. The likes
Yes.
of Born to Lead, Without a Silver Spoon, Easy Goes to School and College. Those were books. They had the main characters in those books faced challenges. For example, in Easy Goes to School, Easy lost his father, the community had to send him to school. He had to live with someone else, and like so many challenges. And then he still rose above them all. Yeah, so those are books that inspired me as a kid. Like, okay, yes, despite challenges, despite things that will always occur, you can achieve your goal with focus, with determination, with hard work. You will definitely get to where you want to be and even surpass it. Yeah, so growing up, I've read more books. In fact, I've lost count. I read books ranging from fiction to non-fiction, a bit of historical, and also some other kind of biographies and all. Yeah, so we have I've read a book on Afghan history, not really Afghanistan history. It's written by Khalid Hosseini. Yes, there's Kite Runner. I learned a lot from that book. It's not even in the academic sense, but also in more of the human way, the human feeling. Like there was so much I learned from the book. Kite Runner by Khalid Hosseini, and there's some other books he wrote. On the Mountains Echoed, yes, and A Thousand Splendid Suns. Yes, so I learned so much from those books. Yeah, now coming to other kind of books that are inspirational, motivational books that I've read that has also impacted. Yeah, there is Unbecoming, yeah, Becoming by Michelle Obama. Yes, we have Think and Grow Rich. Yes, The Richest Man in Babylon. Yeah, I think that really, really resonated with me. Yes, so there are lots of other books I've read over the years, and in my book club, we read books regularly, every week. Yes, there's also Who Moved My Cheese. Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, there is Less is More. I really, in fact, that less is more. It was like you don't always have to. There are times that you need to do less to achieve more. Yes, I learned that from that book too. There are times you need to keep things simple. You need to be organized. You need to plan yourself, plan your day, plan your activities in order to get maximum results. Yeah, so many books, so many books. And the book clubs I mentioned, there's the Luminaries Book Club. So I'm sure people can go check the page and you see other books we've read in the club over the years that has also impacted in the lives of everyone, myself inclusive, and other members of the club. And then there is the Company of Smart Readers, TCSR. So the Company of Smart Readers, we come together to read a book, we discuss it, we write reviews also, and then we see how we can imbibe things learned from the book to make us better. So these two book clubs also have helped me. I've even known more about different books. There was a time I didn't like to read biographies, but yeah, from the book club, I've also learned to read more and different genres of books. So this
Oh, wow. Personally, I love reading books, and that's what governed the whole of my life from childhood. Uh, During the Civil War, I was a child. I was just a young boy, and I lived only in my village to that time. And then some city folks who were our relations, I didn't even know them. When the war broke out, they had to come to the village, and they came and lived with us. Among them were some university students. So they
Okay.
came with huge books,
Wow.
and I pounced on those books and started reading them, and everybody was saying, "You're gonna go crazy. You're reading books that are bigger than you." Surprisingly, I was enjoying myself in reading those books. And I came
Definitely.
across a sentence that I used to bamboozle my my peers in those days. A sentence in a book that's used five dots, THAT, five of it in a row, no break, and
Wow.
the English is still considered to be at least reasonably correct. So when I
Wow.
came out, and I will rattle that with among my peers, and all of them will be confused. So
That's
really,
it.
really, reading does make a man. That sentence, I still use it when I go to public speaking these days. I try to use that to enliven the program, and I will go off. He pointed that man has put was in the wrong place. Five dots in a row. And I
That's it.
found that in a book, and it affected my psychology, helped me to develop. I'm glad to see people who love reading. As an aside from what you have just shared about books and the book clubs, those book clubs, are they offline or online? Are they physical or are they online? And can people connect to them from other parts of the world?
Sure, definitely. They are online. The
Okay.
Luminaries Book Club is online. The Company of Smart Readers is also online.
Okay.
We also have physical hangouts at certain times of the year, but it's
Okay.
mostly online. We do audio reviews, we do written reviews, we do video reviews, and so many others. And then we have classes where we get different authors to come and talk to us. Recently, the Luminaries Book Club, we had Sefi Atta come talk to us in the club. Yes,
Mm.
yeah, so we bring authors on board. They come to talk to us. We discuss about their books with them. We gain insights to their mind, like, oh, how were you able to write this book? What inspired you to write this book? And we share our experience reading the book with them. Yeah, so we do lots of that and more. We also build writers, people who write. You can write your own book, poem, blogs, and all of that. So we have them in the club. So yeah, it's open to everybody. The Luminaries Book Club and the Company of Smart Readers. You can check them online and you can join if you're willing to join.
Oh, this is awesome. I'm just so happy to learn about all of this, and I hope that our viewers, when they come upon this, will be excited to look up for those book clubs and join, because it will make a lot of sense to know how to read very well. I was in a leadership positions a few years back, um, in our church, and then the I met a young man, 13 years old, inside one of our units, who could not read, and he made me bleed. The reason being that during those days, my daughter, our last girl, started reading even the Bible, which is hard script. She started reading them before the age of 5. At 3 years, she could read all those things. Like your mom, my wife will not return from any outing without a book. In fact, every month she goes to shop for book and make sure everybody gets one, at least one,
Yeah,
minimum of one for everyone. So, when I discovered that my daughter could read at 3 very effectively, texts, not just ordinary children's reading. At 5, 6, she could read from the Bible, which is a hard script. And this 13-year-old boy could not pronounce a word from a book. It hurt me. So when I meet someone who is doing what you are doing with books, I'm excited. So thank you. Thank you for creating the chance to be with us today on Conversations on African Town Hall. Okay, let's keep moving in this great meeting we have.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. Viewers, we will expect you to join us in this through questions, through comments. And if you do not agree with some of the things that our guest is sharing today, we like arguments on points. So we invite you to join us by, commenting on what our guest is sharing. Our guest will continue to share more about books and philosophies and ideas and things that has helped her. When we return, we'll go on a commercial break now. When we come back, we will learn from our guest, Oluwakemi Lawal, Acipm, someone who has prepared herself very well in life. She will share with us what she feels about the narrative that if you want to hide something from an African, that you should put it in the pages of a book. But she would respond to that when we come out from this 1 minute